darling, when lights are low.
And then I go toward Aragon.
I'll bring you thither, my lord, if you'll vouchsafe me.
Nay, that would be as great a soil in the new gloss of your marriage as to show a child his new coat and forbid him to wear it. I will only be bold with Benedict for his company, for from the crown of his head to the sole of his foot he is all mirth. He hath twice or thrice cut Cupid's bowstring, and the little hangman dare not shoot at him. He hath a heart as sound as a bell, and his tongue's the clapper, for what his heart thinks, his tongue speaks.
Gallant, I am not as I have been.
So say I. Methinks you are sadder. I hope you be in love.
Hang him, truant. There's no true drop of blood in him to be truly touched with love. If he be sad, he wants money.
I have the toothache.
Draw it.
Hang it. You must hang it first and draw it afterwards.
What, sigh for the toothache?
Well, everyone can master a grief, but he that has it.
Yet say I, he is in love.
There is no appearance of fancy in him. He is no fool for fancy, as you would have it appear he is.
If he be not in love with some woman, there's no believing old signs. He brushes his hat all mornings. What should that bode?
Hath any man seen him at the barber's?
No, but the barber's man hath been seen with him.
Indeed, he looks younger than he did by the loss of a beard.
Nay, he rubs himself with civet. Can you smell him out by that?
That's as much as to say the sweet youth's in love.
The greatest note of it is his melancholy.
And when was he wont to wash his face?
Yea, or to paint himself, for the which I hear what they say of him.
Nay, but his jesting spirit, which is now crept into a lute string and now governed by stops.
Indeed, that tells a heavy tale for him. Conclude. He is in love.
Nay, but I know who loves him.
That would I know too. I warrant, one that knows him not.
Yes, and his ill conditions, and in despite of all, dies for him.
She shall be buried with her face upwards.
Yet is this no cure for the toothache? Signor Leonardo, walk aside with me a while. I have 8 or 9 wise words I must speak to you that these hobby horses must not hear.
Oh.
For my life, to break with him about Beatrice.
'Tis even so. Hero and Margaret have by this done their part with Beatrice. And now the two bears will not bite one another when they meet.
My lord and brother, God save you.
Good e'en, sister.
If your leisure served, I would speak with you.
In private?
If it please you. Yet Count Claudio may hear, for what I speak of concerns him.
What's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow?
You know he does.
I know not that when he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you discover it.
You may think I love you not. Let that appear hereafter, and aim better at me, by that I now will manifest. For my brother, I think he holds you well, and in dearness of heart hath hoped to effect your ensuing marriage. Surely suit ill spent, and labor ill bestowed.
Why? What's the matter?
I came hither to tell you, and circumstances shortened, for she has been too long a talking of. The lady is disloyal.
Who, a hero?
Even she. Leonardo's hero, your hero, every man's hero.
Disloyal.
The word is too good to paint out her wickedness. I could say she were worse. Think you of a worse title, and I will fit her to it. Oh, wonder not till further warrant. Go but with me tonight, you will see her chamber window entered, even the night before her wedding day. If you love her then, tomorrow wed her, but it may better fit your honor to change your mind.
May this be so?
I will not think it.
If you will follow me, I will show you, and when you have seen more and heard more, proceed accordingly.
If I see anything tonight why I should not marry her, tomorrow in the congregation where I should wed, there I will shame her.
And as I wooed for thee to obtain her, I will join with thee to disgrace her.
I will disparage her no further till you are my witness. Bear it coldly but till midnight, and let the issue show itself.
Ah! Day untowardly turned.
Mischief strangely thwarting.
Oh, plague right well prevented. So you will say when you have seen the sequel.
Are you good men and true?
Yeah, else it were a pity, but they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
Nay, that would be a punishment too good for them.
Well, give them their charge, neighbor Dogberry.
First, who think you the most desertless man to be constable?
Hugh Oakcake, sir, or George C. Cole, for they can both read and write.
Come hither, neighbor Seacole. God hath blessed you with a good name. To be a well-favored man is the gift of fortune, but to read and write comes by nature.
Both which, Master Constable.
You have. I knew it would be your answer. Well, for your favor, sir, give God thanks. And as for the writing and reading, let them appear when there is no need for such vanities. It is thought that you are the most senseless and fit man for constable of the watch. Therefore, bear you the lantern. This is your charge. You are to comprehend all vagrom men. You will bid any man stand in the prince's name.
How if he will not stand?
Why then let him alone, and presently call the rest of the watch together, and thank God that you are rid of a knave.
If he shall not stand when he is bidden, he is none of the prince's subjects.
True, and they are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. You will also refrain from making noise in the streets, for the watch to talk and babble is most tolerable, and will not be endured.
We would rather sleep than talk. We know what belongs to a watch.
You speak like an ancient and most quiet watchman, for I cannot see how sleeping should offend. Only have a care that your bills are not stolen. Well, you are to call at all of the alehouses and bid those that are drunk to get them to bed.
How if they will not?
Why then let them alone till they are sober. If they make you not, the better answer, you may say that they are not the men you took them for.
Well, sir.
If you come upon a thief, you may suspect him, by virtue of your office, to be no true man. And for such a type of man as that, why, the less you make or meddle with him, the more is for your honesty.
If we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
Truly, by your office you may, but I think that they that touch pitch will be defiled. No, the most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to allow him to show himself for what he is and steal his way out of your company.
You have always been called a very merciful man, partner.
Truly, I would not hang a dog by my will.
If you hear a child cry in the night, you must call to the nurse and bid her still it.
How if the nurse be asleep and will not hear us?
Why then depart in peace, for the you that does not hear a lamb when it baas will never answer a calf when it bleats.
'Tis very true.
This is the end of the charge. Good night, neighbors, and any matter of weight chances, call up me. Come, neighbor.
Well, masters, we've heard our charge. Let us sit upon the church bench till 2, and then off to bed.
One word more, masters. I pray you watch about Signor Leonardo's door. For the wedding being there tomorrow, there is a great coil tonight. Adieu. Be vigilant! I beseech you!
What, Conrad?
Peace, stir not.
Conrad, I say.
Here, man, I am at thy elbow.
Mass and my elbow itched. I thought there'd be a scab follow.
I will owe thee an answer for that.
Now on with thy tale.
Stand thee close, for under this penthouse for it drizzles rain, and I will, like a true drunkard, utter all to thee.
Some treason, masters, yet stand close.
Therefore now I've earned it down to John 1,000 ducats.
Is it possible for any villainy to be so dear?
Thou shouldst rather ask if it possible any villainy should be so rich. For when rich villains have need for poor ones will make what price they will.
I wonder at it.
That shows thou art unconfirmed. Didst thou not hear somebody?
No, 'twas the vein in the house.
I've tonight wooed Ursula, the waiting gentlewoman's a hero. She leans me at her mistress's chamber window, bids me 1,000 times good night. Mwah! Mwah! I tell this tale vilely. I should first tell you how the Prince Claudio and my master, planted, placed, and possessed by my master Don John, saw far off in the night this amiable encounter.
And thought they Ursula was hero?
2 of them did, the prince and Claudio, but the devil, my master, knew she was Ursula, and partially by his oaths which first possessed them, partially by the dark night which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy which did confirm any slander that Don John had made. Away went Claudio in range, swore he'd meet her as he points the next morning at the temple, and there before the whole congregation shame her with what he saw every night, and send her home again without husband.
We charge in the prince's name. Stand! The most dangerous piece of lechery known in the Commonwealth.
The most dangerous piece of lechery in all
Masters!
in all the Commonwealth.
Masters, never speak, I charge you. Let us obey you to come with us.
We are like to prove a goodly commodity being taken of these men's bills.
A commodity in question. I warrant thee. Come, we'll obey you.
Good Ursula, wake my cousin Beatrice and desire her to rise.
I will, lady.
And bid her come hither.
Well,
Troth, I think your other motto were better. No, baby, good Meg. How were this?
By my troth, it's not so good, and I warrant your cousin Beatrice will say so.
My cousin's a fool, and thou art another. I'll wear none but this. God gave me joy to wear, for my heart is exceeding heavy.
'Twill be heavier soon by the weight of a man.
Fie upon thee! Art not ashamed?
Of what, lady? I'll offend nobody. Is there any harm in the heavier a husband? None, I think, and it be the right husband and the right wife. Ask my lady Beatrice else. Here she comes.
Good morrow, cuz.
Good morrow, sweet hero.
Why, how now? Do you speak in the sick tune?
I am all out of other tunes, methinks. 'Tis almost 5 o'clock, cousin. 'Tis time you were ready. By my troth, I am exceedingly ill. Hi-ho!
This perfume the Count sent me. It's excellent.
I am stuffed, cousin. I cannot smell.
A maid and stuffed. There's goodly catching of a cold.
Oh, God help me! God help me! How long have you professed apprehension?
Ever since you left it. Doth not my wit become me rarely?
It is not seen enough. You should wear it in your cap. By my troth, I am sick.
Get you some of this distilled Carduus Benedictus and lay it to your heart. It is the only thing for a qualm.
There thou prickest her with the thistle.
Benedictus? Why Benedictus? Have you some moral in this Benedictus?
Moral? No, I have no moral meaning. I meant plain holy thistle. You may think perchance that I think you are in love. Nay, byre lady, I am not such a fool to think you are in love, or you will be in love, or you can be in love. And yet, Benedict was such another, and now he has become a man. He swore he would never marry, and yet now, in spite of his heart, he eats his meat without grudging. And how you may be converted, I know not, but methinks you look with your eyes as other women do.
What pace is this that thy tongue keeps?
Not a false gallop.
Madam, withdraw! The prince, the counts, and your Benedict Donajon, and all the gallants of the town are come to fetch you to church.
Help to dress me. Good cuz, good Meg, good Ursula.
What would you with me, honest neighbor?
Marry, sir, we would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly.
Brief, I pray you, for you see it is a busy time with me.
Mary, this is it, sir.
Yes, in truth it is, sir.
What is it, my good friends?
Goodman Verges, sir, speaks a little off the mark. An old man, sir, and his wits are not so blunt as, God willing, I would hope they were. Nevertheless, as honest as the skin between his brows.
Yes, I thank God I'm as honest as any man that is an old man and no honester than I.
Comparisons are odorous, palabrous, neighbor Verges.
Neighbors, you are tedious.
It pleases your worship to say so, but we are the Duke's poor officers. But in truth, for my part, were I as tedious as a king, I could find it in my heart to bestow it all upon your worship.
All thy tediousness on me, huh?
Yea, and 'twere 1,000 pound more than 'tis, for I hear as good an exclamation on your part as of any man in the city. And though I am but a poor man, I am glad to hear it.
And so am I.
I would fain know what you have to say.
Marry, sir, our watch tonight, accepting your worship's presence, has taken a couple of as arrant knaves as any in Messina.
An old man, sir, he will be talking. As they say, when the age is in, the wit is out. God help us. It is a world to see. Well said, in faith, neighbor Verges.
Indeed, neighbor, I must leave you.
One moment, sir. Our watch has indeed apprehended 2 auspicious persons and would have them this morning examined before your worship.
Take their investigation yourself and bring it me. I am now in great haste, as it may appear unto you.
It shall be sufficient.
Drink some wine ere you go. Fare you well.
My lord, they stay for you to give your daughter to her husband.
I'll wait upon them. I'm ready.
Go, good neighbor. Get you to Francis Seacole. Bid him bring his pen and inkhorn and meet us at the jail. We are now to examination these men.
And we must do so wisely.
We will spare no wit, I warrant you. Go, get the learned writer to set down our excommunication and meet me at the jail.
Come, Friar Francis, be brief, only to the plain form of marriage, and you shall recount their particular duties afterward.
You come hither, my lord, to marry this lady.
No.
To be married to her. Friar, you come to marry her.
Lady, you come hither to be married to this count?
I do.
If either of you know any inward impediment why you should not be conjoined, I charge you on our souls to utter it.
Know you any, hero?
None, my lord.
Know you any, count?
I dare make his answer none.
What men dare do. What men may do. What men daily do, not knowing that they do. Stand thee by, friar. Father, by your leave, will you with free and unconstrained soul give me this maid your daughter?
As freely, son, as God did give her me.
And what have I to give you back whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing.
Sweet prince, you learn me noble thankfulness. There, Leonardo, take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She is but the sign and semblance of her honor. Behold how like a maid she blushes here. What authority and show of truth can cunning sin cover itself withal? Comes not that blood as modest evidence to witness simple virtue? Would you not swear, all you that see her, that she were a maid by these exterior shows? But she is none. She knows the heat of a luxurious bed. Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
What do you mean, my lord?
Not to be married. Not to knit my soul to an above wanton.
Dear my lord, if you have in your own proof vanquished the resistance of her youth, made defeat of her virginity.
I know what you would say. If I have known her, you would say she did embrace me as a husband and so extenuate the forehand sin. No, Leonardo. I never tempted her with word too large, but as a brother to his sister showed bashful sincerity and comely love.
And seemed I ever otherwise to you?
Ah, me seeming! I will write against it. You seem to me as Diane in her orb, as chaste as the bud ere it be blown. But you are more intemperate in your blood than Venus, or those pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality.
Is my lord well that he does speak so wide?
Sweet prince, why speaks to not you?
What should I speak? I stand dishonored that have gone about to link my dear friend to a common stale.
Are these things spoken, or do I but dream?
Sir, they are spoken, and these things are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
True? Oh, God.
Leonardo, stand I here? Is this the prince? Is this the prince's sister? Is this face, heroes? Are our eyes our own?
All this is so, my lord, but what of this?
Let me but move one question to your daughter, and by that fatherly and kindly power that you have in her, bid her answer truly.
I charge thee do so, as thou art my child.
God defend me. How am I beset?
What man was he talked with you yesternight? Out at your window betwixt 12 and 1. Now, if you are made answer to this.
I talked with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why then, are you no maiden? Leonato, I am sorry you must hear. Upon mine honor, myself, my sister, and this grieved count did see her, hear her at that hour last night talk with a ruffian at her chamber window, who hath indeed, most like a liberal villain, confessed the vile encounters they have had 1,000 times in secret.
Fie, they are not to be named, my lord, not to be spoke of. There is not chastity enough in language without offense to utter them. Thus, pretty lady, I am sorry for thy much misgovernment.
Hero. What a hero hadst thou been if half thy outward graces had been placed about thy thoughts and counsels of thy heart. But fare thee well, most foul, most fair. Farewell, thou pure impiety and impious purity.
We're forcing you down! Come, let us go. These things come thus to light. Smother her spirits up.
How doth the lady?
Dead! I think!
Okay.
Help! I'll go! Fire! Hero! Why? Hero!
Signor Benedict!
Fire! I'll go!
Mate, take not away thy heavy hand. That is the fairest cover for her shame that may be wished for.
How now, cousin Hero?
Have comfort, lady.
Dost thou look up?
Yea, wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why, doth not every earthly thing cry shame upon her? Could she here deny the story that is printed in her blood? Do not live, hero. Do not ope thine eyes, for did I think thou wouldst not quickly die, that I thy spirits were stronger than thy shames, myself would, on the rearward of reproaches, strike at thy life! Grieved I had but one? Chid I for that at frugal nature's frame? One too much by thee!
Sir! Be patient! For my part, I am so attired to wonder, I know not what to think.
On my soul, my cousin is belied!
My lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
Surely not. Although until last night I have this 12 months been her bedfellow.
Confirmed! Confirmed! That is stronger made which was before barred up with ribs of iron. Would the prince lie, and Claudio lie, who loved her so that speaking of her foulness washed it with tears? Hence from her, let her die!
Hear me a little, for I've only been silent so long, and given way unto the course of fortune by noting of the lady. I have marked 1,000 blushing apparitions to start into her face. 1,000 innocent shames and angel whiteness beat away those blushes. And in her eye there hath appeared a fire, to burn the errors held against her maiden truth. Call me a fool, trust not my reading nor observations, though experimental seal doth warrant the tenor of my book. Trust not my age, reverence, calling, nor divinity, if this sweet lady lie not guiltless under some biting error.
Friar, it cannot be. She not denies it. Why seekst thou then to cover with excuse that which appears in proper nakedness?
Lady, what man is he you are accused of?
They know that do accuse me. I know none. If I know more of any man alive than which maiden modesty doth warrant, let all my sins lack mercy. My father, prove you that any man with me conversed at hours unmeet, or that I yesternight maintained the change of words with any creature. Refuse me, hate me, torture me to death!
There is some strange misprison in the princes.
2 of them have the very bent of honor. And if their wisdoms be misled in this, the practice of it lies in Donna the bastard, whose spirits toil in frames of villainies.
I know not. If they speak but truth of her, these hands shall tear her. If they wrong her honor, the proudest of them shall well hear of it.
Well, pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter here, the princess, have left for dead. Let her while be secretly kept in, and publish it that she is dead indeed. Maintain a mourning ostentation, and upon your family's old monument hang mournful epitaphs, and do all rites that appertain unto a proper burial.
What will become of this? What will this do?
Mary, this well-carried shall on her behalf change slander to remorse. That is some good, but not for that dream I on this strange course, but on this travail look for greater birth. She, dying, as it must be so maintained, upon the instant that she was accused shall be lamented, pitied, and excused of every hearer. For it so falls out that what we have, we prize not to the worth whilst we enjoy it, but being lacked and lost, why then we reck the value. Then we find the virtue that possession could not show us well as it was ours. So will it fare with Claudio. When he hears she died upon his words, the idea of her life shall sweetly creep into his steady imagination, and every lovely organ of her life shall become apparelled in more precious habit, more moving, delicate, and full of life than when she lived indeed. If ever love had interest in his liver, and wish he had not so accused her, no though he thought his accusation true. Let this be so, and doubt not but success will fashion the event in better shape than I can lay it down in likelihood. But if all aim but this be levelled false, the supposition of the lady's death shall quench the wonder of her infamy.
Signor Leonato, let the friar advise you. And though you know my inwardness in love is very much unto the prince and Count Claudio, by my honor I will deal with this as secretly and as justly as your soul should with your body.
Being that I flow in grief, the smallest twine may lead me.
'Tis well consented. Presently away, for to strange sores strangely they strain the cure. Come, lady, die to live. This wedding day is perhaps but prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, and I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no reason. I do it freely.
Surely I do believe your fair cousin is wrong.
How much might the man deserve of me that would right her?
Is there any way to show such friendship?
A very even way. But no such friend.
May a man do it?
It is a man's office. But not yours.
I do love nothing in the world so well as you. Is not that strange?
Strange is the thing I know not. It were possible for me that I love nothing so well as you, but believe me not, and yet I lie not. I confess nothing, nor I deny nothing. I'm sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that swears I love not you.
Will you not eat your word?
With no sauce that can be devised to it. I protest I love thee.
Why, then, God forgive me.
What offense, sweet Beatrice?
You have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest I loved you.
And do so, with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart that there is none left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it. Farewell.
Nay, but Beatrice.
I am gone though I am here. There is no love in you. Nay, I pray you let me go.
Sweet Beatrice.
In faith, I will go.
We'll be friends first.
You dare easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemy.
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is he not approved in the height of a villain that has slandered, scorned, and dishonored my kinswoman? Oh, that I were a man! Would bear her in hand until I come to take hands, and then with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rage, oh God, that I were a man! I would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Nay, but Beatrice.
Talk with a man out a window. A proper saying.
Terry, sweet
Sweet
Beatrice.
hero, she is wronged, she is slandered, she is undone!
Beatrice.
Surely a princely testimony, a goodly count confect, a sweet gallant, surely! Oh, that I were a man for his sake, or that I had any friend that would be a man for mine. Oh, but manlyhood is melted into curtsies, valor into compliment, and men are only turned into tongues, and trim ones too. He is now as valiant as Hercules that only tells a lie and swears by it! I cannot be a man with wishing. Therefore I will die a woman with grieving.
Tarry, sweet Beatrice. By this hand, I love thee.
Use it for my love some other way than swearing by it.
Think you in your soul that Count Claudio hath wronged Hero?
Yea, as sure as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge him. By this hand, Claudio will render me a dear account. Come. Go comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead. And so farewell.
Is our whole exhibition appeared?
Oh, and a stool and a cushion for this sexton.
Which be the malefactors?
Marry that I am, and my partner.
Nay, that's certain. We have the exhibition to examine.
But which are the offenders that are to be examined? Let them come before Master Constable.
Yea, Let them come before me. And what is your name, sir?
Baraccio.
Pray, write down Baraccio. And yours, sirrah?
I am a gentleman, sir, and my name is Conrad.
Write down Master Gentleman Conrad. Masters, do you serve God?
Yes, sir.
We hope.
Write down that they hope they serve God, and write God first. For God defend, but God should go before such villains. Masters, it is proved already that you are little more than false knaves, and it shall go about to be thought so shortly. How do you answer for yourselves?
Marry, sir, we say we are none.
A marvelous, witty fellow. But I will go about with him, I assure you. Come hither, sirrah. A word in your ear. Sir, I say to you, it is thought that you are false knaves.
Sir, I say to you, we are none.
For God, they are both at a tale. Have you writ down that they are none?
Master Constable, you go not the way to examine. You must call forth the watch that are their accusers.
Yea, that's the eftest way. Let the watch come forth. I charge you in the prince's name, accuse these men.
This man said, sir, that Donna John, the prince's sister, was a villain.
Write down Donna John a villain. Why, this is flat perjury to call the prince's sister a villain.
Master Constable.
Brady fellow, peace! I do not like thy look, I promise thee.
What heard you him say else?
Marry, sir, that he had received 1,000 ducats for accusing the lady hero wrongfully.
Flat perjury as ever was committed.
Yeah, by mass that is.
What else, fellow?
And that Count Claudio did mean, upon his word, to disgrace her before the whole assembly, and not to marry her.
Oh, thou villain! Thou wilt be cast into everlasting redemption for this!
What else?
This is all.
And this is more, fellows, than you can deny. Donna John is this morning secretly stolen away. Hero was in this manner accused, in this very manner refused, and upon the grief of this suddenly died. Master Constable, have these men be bound and brought to Leonardo's. I will go before and show him their examination.
Come, let them be opinioned.
Let them be in the hand.
Off, coxcomb!
Come, bind them. Thou naughty varlet!
Away! You are an ass! You are an ass!
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my ears? Oh, that she were here to write me down an ass! But, masters, remember that I am an ass, though it not be written down, yet forget not that I am an ass. Nay, thou villain, thou art full of piety, as shall be proved upon thee by good witness. I am an officer, and what's more, a householder, and what's more, a wise enough fellow, and what's more, as pretty a piece of flesh, as any to be found in Messina, and one who knows the law, go to, and a rich enough fellow, go to, and one who hath everything handsome about him. Take them away! Oh, that she were here to write me down an ass.
If you go on thus, you will kill yourself, and 'tis not wisdom to second grief against yourself.
I pray thee, cease thy counsel which falls into mine ears as profitless as water in a sieve. Give not me counsel, nor let no comforter delight mine ear, but such a one whose wrongs do suit with mine. For, sister, men can counsel and speak comfort to that grief which they themselves not feel, but tasting it, their counsel turns to passion. No, 'tis all men's office to speak patience to those that wring under the loads of sorrow, but no man's virtue, nor sufficiency to be so moral when he shall endure the like himself. Therefore give me no counsel. My grief cries louder than advertisement.
Therein do men from children nothing differ.
I pray thee, peace.
Yet bend not all harm upon yourself, make those that do offend you suffer too.
There thou speak'st reason. Nay, I will do so. My soul doth tell me Hero is belied. That shall Claudio know. So shall the prince, and all those that thus dishonor her.
Here comes the prince and Claudio hastily.
Goodeen, Goodeen.
Good day to both of you.
Hear you, my lords.
We have some haste, Leonardo.
Some haste, my lord. Well, fare you well, my lord. Are you so hasty now? Well, all is one.
Nay, do not quarrel with us, good old man.
If he could right himself with quarreling, some of us would lie low.
Who wrongs him?
Thou doth, thou dissembler, thou. Nay, never raise thy hands at me. I fear thee not.
In faith, my hand meant nothing.
Tush, man. Never fleer and jest at me. Know, Claudio, to thy head, that thou hast so wronged mine innocent child in me, that I am forced to lay my reverence by, and with graying hair and bruise of many days do challenge thee to trial of a man. I say thou hast belied mine innocent child. Thy slander hath gone through and through her heart, and she lies buried with her ancestors. Oh, in a tomb where never scandal slept, save this of her is framed by thy villainy.
My villainy.
Thine, Claudio, thine, I say.
You say not right, old man.
My lord, I'll prove it on his body if he dare, despite his nice, fenced, and active practice, his May of youth and bloom of lustihood.
Away! I will not have to do with you.
Canst thou so daff me? Thou hast killed my child. If thou killest me, boy, thou shalt kill a man.
He shall kill two of us, but that's no matter. Let him kill one first. Win me, wear me, boy. Let him answer me. Come, follow me, boy. Come, sir, boy, come follow me. I'll rip you from your fighting fence. Nay, as I am a lady, I won't.
Sister.
Content yourself. God knows I loved my niece, and she is dead. Slandered to death by villains! Boys! Apes! Braggarts! Jacks! Milkstops!
Sister Antonia!
Hold yourself content. What man I know them, yea, and what they weigh even to the most utmost scruple. Scambling, out-facing, fashion-monging boys that lie and cog and flout, deprave and slander, go antically and show all but hideousness, how they may hurt their enemies if they durst. That is all.
But Sister Antonia...
Come, 'tis no matter, do not you meddle, let me deal with this.
We will not wake your patience. My heart is sorry for your daughter's death. But on my honor, she was charged with nothing but what was true and very full of proof.
My lord, my lord!
I will not hear you.
No? Come, sister, away. I will be heard.
And shall. Or some of us will smart for it.
See, here comes the man we went to seek.
Now, senor, what news?
Good day, my lord.
Welcome, senor. You are almost come to part almost a fray.
We'd like to have had our 2 noses snapped off with 2 old folks without teeth.
Leonardo and his sister. What thinkst thou? Had we fought, I doubt we should have been too young for them.
In a false quarrel there is no true valor. I came to seek you both.
We have been up and down to seek thee, for we are high-proof melancholy, and would fain have it beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wit?
It is in my scabbard. Shall I draw it?
Dost thou wear thy wit by thy side?
Never any did so, but very many have been beside their wit. I will bid thee draw, as we do the minstrels, draw to pleasure us.
As I am an honest man, he looks pale. Art thou sick or angry?
What courage, man!
I shall meet your wit in the career, and you shall charge it against me. I pray you choose another subject.
By this light he changes more and more. I think he be angry indeed.
If he be, he knows how to turn his girdle.
Shall I speak a few words in your ear?
God bless me from a challenge.
You are a villain. I jest not. I will make a good with what you dare, and how you dare, and when you dare. Do me right, or I protest your cowardice. You have killed a sweet lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. Let me hear from you.
I will meet you, so I may have good cheer.
Sir, your wit ambles well. It goes easily.
I'll tell thee how Beatrice praised thy wit the other day. I said thou hadst a fine wit. True, said she, a fine little one. No, said I, a great wit. Right, says she, a great gross one. Nay, said I, a good wit. Just, said she, it hurts nobody. Nay, said I, the gentleman is wise. Certain, said she, a wise gentleman. Nay, said I, he hath the tongues. That I believe, said she, for he swore a thing to me on Monday night, which he forswore on Tuesday morning. Thus did she an hour together transshape thy particular virtues. Yet, at last she concluded with a sigh, thou wast the properest man in Italy.
For the which she wept heartily, and said she cared not.
Yea, that she did. But yet for all that, and if she did not hate him deadly, she would love him dearly. The old man's daughter told us all.
All.
But when shall we set the savage bull's horns on the sensible Benedict's head?
Yea, and the text underneath, here dwells Benedict, the married man.
Fare you well, boy, you know my mind. I shall leave you to your gossip-like humors. My lord, for your many courtesies I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your sister the bastard has fled from Messina. You have among you killed a sweet and innocent lady, and for my lord Lackbeard there he and I shall meet. And, until then, peace be with him.
He is in earnest.
In most profound earnest. And I'll warrant you for the love of Beatrice.
And hath challenged thee?
Most sincerely.
What a pretty thing man is when he goes in his doublet and hose and leaves off his wit. But did he not say my sister was fled?
Come you, sir! If justice cannot tame you, she shall ne'er weigh more reasons in her balance.
How now? 2 of my sister's men bound? Baraccio one? Officers, what offense have these men done?
Marry, sir, they have committed false report. Moreover, they have spoken untruths. Secondarily, they are slanders. Sixth and lastly, they have belied a lady. Thirdly, they have verified unjust things. And to conclude, they are lying knaves.
First, I ask thee what they have done. Thirdly, I ask thee what's their offense. Sixth and lastly, why they are committed, and to conclude, what you lay to their charge.
Rightly reasoned and in his own division.
Who have you offended, masters, that you are thus bound to your answer? This learned constable is too cunning to be understood. What's your offense?
Sweet prince, let me go no further to mine answer. Do you hear me, and let this count kill me, for I have deceived your very eyes, which your wisdoms cannot discover, that these shallow fools brought to light. who in the night overheard me confessing to this man how Don John, your sister, incensed me to slander the lady hero. How you were brought into the orchard and saw me court Ursula in hero's garments. How you were disgraced when you should marry. My villainy live upon record, which I had rather seal with my death than repeat over to my shame. This lady is dead upon mine and my master's false accusation, and briefly I desire nothing but the reward of a villain.
Runs not this speech like iron through your blood?
I have drunk poison whilst he uttered it.
But did my sister set thee on to this?
Yeah, it paid me richly for the practice of it.
She is composed and framed of treachery, and fled she is upon this villainy.
Sweet hero, now thy image doth appear in the rare semblance that I loved at first.
Come, take the plaintiffs away. By this time we have already reformed Signor Leonato of the matter. And masters, do not forget to specify, when time and place shall serve, that I am an ass.
Here comes Master Signor Leonato, and the sexton too.
Let me see his eyes. Which of these is he?
If you would know you're wronger, look on me.
Art thou the slave that with thy breath hast killed mine innocent child?
Yeah, even I alone.
No, not so, villain, thou beliest thyself. Here stand a pair of honest men. A third is fled, who had a hand in it. Oh, I thank you, princes, for my daughter's death. Recorded with your high and worthy deeds, 'twas bravely done.
I know not how to pray your patience, yet I must speak. Choose your revenge yourself. Impose me to what penance your invention can lay upon my sin. Yet sinned I not, but in mistaking.
By my soul, nor I. And yet to satisfy this good old man, I would bend under any heavy weight that he'll enjoin me to.
I cannot bid you bid my daughter live. That were impossible. But I pray you both possess the people of Messina here how innocent she died. Come you to my house tomorrow. Since you could not be my son-in-law, be yet nephew. My brother hath a daughter, almost the copy of my child that's dead, and she alone is heir to both of us. Give her the right you should have given her cousin, and so dies my revenge.
Noble sir, your overkindness doth wring tears from me. I do embrace your offer, and dispose for henceforth of poor Claudio.
Then tomorrow I expect your coming. Tonight I must leave. This naughty man shall face to face be brought to Ursula, who I believe was packed in all this wrong, hired to it by your sister.
No, by my soul, she was not, nor knew not what she did when she spoke to me, but always hath been just and virtuous in anything that I do know by her.
Moreover, sir, which is not under black and white, this plaintiff, the offender, did call me an ass. I beseech you to let it be remembered in his punishment. I pray you, examine him on that point.
I thank you for thy care and honest pains.
Your worship speaks like a most thankful and reverent youth, and I praise God for you.
There's for thy pains.
God save the foundation.
Go, I discharge thee of thy prisoner, and I thank thee.
I leave in your worship's care a most errant knave, which I hope your worship will correct for the example of others. God protect your worship. I wish your worship well. May God restore you to health. I give you leave to depart, and should a merry meeting be wished, God prohibit it. Come, neighbor.
Until tomorrow morning, lords, farewell.
Farewell, my lords. We will look for you tomorrow.
We will not fail.
Tonight I'll mourn with Hero.
Bring you these fellows on. We shall speak with Ursula, how her acquaintance grew with this lewd fellow.
Sweet Mistress Margaret, deserve well at my hand by helping me to the speech of Beatrice.
Oh.
Mm.
Oh.
Oh?
Oh. Will you then write me a sonnet in praise of my beauty?
In so high a fashion, Margaret, that no man living shall come over it, for indeed in thou comely terms thou deservest it.
To have no man come over me, why shall I always keep below stairs?
Thy wit is as quick as the greyhound's mouth. It catches.
And yours is as blunt as the fencer's foils, which hit but hurt not.
I pray you, call Beatrice. I gave thee the bucklers.
Give us the swords, we have bucklers of our own.
And if you use them, Margaret, you must put in the pikes with the vice. They are dangerous weapons for maids.
I will fetch Beatrice for you, who I think hath legs.
And therefore will come. Your eyes are blue, your kisses too. I never knew what they could do. I can't believe that you're in love with me. I mean in singing, but in loving? Leander the good swimmer, Troilus the first employer of panders, and a whole bookful of these quondam carpetmongers whose name yet ruts smoothly in the even road of a blank verse. Why, they were never so truly turned over and over as my poor self in love. Mary, I cannot say it in rhyme. I have tried. I can find out no rhyme for lady, but, baby? An innocent rhyme. For scorn, horn, a hard rhyme. For school, fool, a babbling rhyme. Very ominous endings. No, I was not born under a rhyming planet, nor I cannot woo in festival terms. Sweet Beatrice, wouldst thou come when I did call thee?
Oh, yea, signor, and depart when you bid me.
Stay but till then.
Then is spoken. Fare you well now. And yet, ere I go, let me go with that I came, which is with knowing what hath passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words, and thereon I will kiss thee.
Oh, foul words is but foul wind, and foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome. Therefore I will depart unkissed.
Thou hast frightened the right sense out of the words, so forcible is thy wit. But I will tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge, and I will hear from him shortly, or subscribe him a coward. I pray thee now tell me, for which of my bad parts didst thou first fall in love with me?
For all of them together, which maintain so politic a state of evil that they will not admit any good parts to intermingle with them. But for which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love, a good epithet. I suffer love indeed, for I love thee against my will.
Oh, in spite of your heart, I think. Alas, poor heart! If you can spite it for my sake, I'll spite it for yours, for I will never love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably.
It appears not in this confession. There is not a wise man among 20 that will praise himself.
An old instance, Beatrice, that lived in the time of good neighbors. If a man do not erect in his time his own tomb ere he dies, he will live no longer in monument than the bell rings or the widow weeps.
And how long is that, think you?
Why, an hour in clamor and a quarter in room. How doth your cousin?
Very ill.
How do you?
Very ill, too.
Serve God, love me, and mend. And thereon I will leave you, for here comes one in haste.
Madam, you must come to your uncle's. Yonder's old coil at home. It is proved that my lady hero hath been falsely accused, the prince and Claudio mightily abused, and Donna John is the author of all, who is fled and gone. What? Will you come presently?
Will you go hear this news, senor?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thy eyes. And, moreover, I will go with thee to thy uncle's.
You see, did I not tell you she was innocent?
So were the prince and Claudio, who accused her upon the error that you heard debated. But Ursula was at some fault in this, though against her will, as it appears in the true course of all the question.
Well, I'm glad that all things sort so well.
And so am I, by faith being enforced to call young Claudio to a reckoning for it.
Well, daughter, and you gentlewomen all, withdraw into a chamber by yourselves, and when I call for you, come hither masked. The Prince and Claudio agreed by this hour to visit me. Sister, you know your office. You must be mother to your brother's daughter and give her to young Claudio.
Which I will do.
Good friar, I must entreat your pains, I think.
To do what, Signor?
To bind me or undo me, one of them. Signor Leonardo, truth it is, good signor, your niece regards me with an eye of favor.
That I my daughter lent her, 'tis most true.
And I do with an eye of love requite her.
That sight whereof I think you had from me, from the prince, and from Claudio. But what's your will?
Your answer, sir, is enigmatical. But for my will is your goodwill will stand with us this day to be conjoined in a state of honorable marriage, in which, good friar, I shall desire your help.
My heart is with your liking.
And my help. Ooh, here come the Prince and Claudio.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, Prince. Good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you yet determined today to marry with my brother's daughter?
I am.
All her forth, sister. Here's the friar ready.
Which is the lady I must seize upon?
This same is she, and I do give you her.
Why then, she's mine. Sweet, let me see your face.
No, that you shall not until you have taken her hand before this friar and swear to marry her.
Give me your hand before this holy friar. I am your husband, if you like of me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife. And when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero!
Nothing certainer. One hero died defiled, but I do live.
The former hero that is dead.
She died, my lord, but whilst her slander lived.
All this amazement can I qualify, when after that the holy rites have ended, I'll tell you largely of fair hero's death. Meantime, let wonder seem familiar, and to the chapel let us presently.
Oh, soft and fair, friar! Which is Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do you not love me?
Why, no. No more than reason.
Why then, the prince, Count Claudio, and your uncle have been deceived. They swore that you did.
Do not you love me?
By my troth, no. No more than reason.
Why then, my cousin, Margaret, and Ursula are much deceived, for they swore you did.
They swore that you were almost sick for me.
They swore you were well nigh dead for me.
'Tis no matter. Then do you not love me?
No, truly, but in friendly recompense.
Cousin, I am sure you love the gentleman.
And I'll be sworn upon that he loves her. For here's a sheet of paper written in his hand, a halting sonnet of his own pure brain, fashioned to Beatrice.
And here's another, writ in my cousin's hand, containing her affection unto Benedict.
A miracle! Here's our hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee. Oh, but by this light, I'll take thee for pity.
I would not deny you, but by this good day I yield upon great persuasion, and partly to save your life, for I was told you're in a consumption.
Peace. I will stop your mouth.
How dost thou, Benedict, the married man?
I'll tell thee what, Prince. A whole college full of these wit crackers cannot flout me out of my humor. In brief, since I do purpose to marry, I will think nothing to any purpose that the world can say against it, and therefore never flout at me for what I have said against it. For a man is a giddy thing, and this is my conclusion. For thy part, Claudio, I did think to have beaten thee. But in that thou art like to be my kinsman, live unbruised, and love my cousin. Come, come, we are friends. Let's have a dance ere we are married, so we may lighten our hearts and our wives' heels.
We'll have dancing afterward.
First of my word, therefore play music. Prince, thou art sad. Get thee a wife. Get thee a wife! There is no staff more reverend than one tipped with horn.
My lord! Your sister Donna, she's ta'en flight brought our men back to Messina.
Think not of her till tomorrow, my lord. I'll devise thee brave punishments for her. Strike up pipers!
I kiss her once, I kiss her twice. Oh, how I love my darling. When lights are low, the radio helps entertain my darling. The bedtime stories used to tickle her so. I tried a couple, but the answer was no. Just after that, I left her flat. Oh, how I love my darling. I kiss her once, I kiss her twice. Oh, how I love my darling. When lights are low, the radio helps entertain my darling. The bedtime stories used to tickle her so. I tried a couple, but the answer was no. Just after that, I left her flat. Oh, how I love my darling. I kiss her once, I kiss her twice. Oh, how I love my darling. In her coupe, most every day, I ride beside my darling. She goes out speeding and I can't make her stop. But then one night she went and ran down a cop. I'm out on bail, she's still in jail. Oh, how I love my darling. Woo! My darling. Oh, how I love my darling. Woo!
Oh, there you are. I couldn't.
You're so silly today.
Thank you.